Welcome back to the Dr. Rich channel. Why is weight gain such a struggle for so many women with polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS? And what are some healthy ways to get weight under control? We're going to talk about diet, medication, and supplements. Stick around to the end to find out my recommendation for the optimal PCOS weight loss regimen. Are you struggling with weight gain because you have PCOS? Or is your weight gain causing PCOS? So what is polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS and how is it diagnosed? Check out our primer video here. Just to be clear, weight loss isn't always the right choice for polycystic ovarian syndrome. There are two variations. One is normal weight PCOS, in which case it can actually have a negative health impact to lose weight if you're already normal weight. And then there's what's called obesity-induced PCOS, which is an insulin-resistant state. Now, when we eat, we take in a combination of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are made up of sugars, starches, and fiber. When sugars and starches are consumed, they are converted to glucose, and glucose is the energy source for all cellular processes in the body. Insulin is a chemical that's made by the pancreas, and that allows glucose to be bound and then transferred into the cells so the cells can process it. PCOS itself is an insulin-resistant state. Because PCOS patients are insulin resistant, they have a breakdown in this normal process, and more of these sugars are stored as fat, and patients end up getting weight gain. So the cornerstone for all weight loss should be diet. Medication should be considered a last resort. If we think about it, medication is really what's on the end of your fork, and we should always focus on a balanced, nutrient-rich diet. The standard American diet, or the SAD diet, has resulted in an obesity epidemic. It's not just patients with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and this is a result of a system where all of the restaurants, all of the food industry is really designed in a capitalistic way to get you to buy more of their food more often. So the goal is to create addiction by adding, frankly, toxic levels of sugar and salt into foods to create a dopamine result and create addiction to get you to go back and eat more of the food with no concerted effort on nutrition or nutritional value or to be healthy. The goal is to get repeat consumers, not to make you healthy. There's no diet that's perfect for everybody. But for polycystic ovarian syndrome specifically, there is data that supports a high fiber, a low glycemic carb index, a low saturated fat, and a low calorie diet. So in the past on this channel, we've generally talked about certain diets being healthy choices. So predominantly vegetarian diet, Mediterranean diet, deriving protein from fish with healthy omega-3 fatty acids, and lean protein. We've also talked about the endometriosis diet being a no red meat or a low red meat diet. Interestingly, for PCOS, there's data that favors consumption of red meat for weight loss in PCOS. So we mentioned earlier, carbohydrates are made up of sugar, starches, and fiber. You've probably also heard that carbs are bad. Carbohydrates are processed in a different way by the body. There's actually a glycemic index or a scale that goes to 1 to 100. The 100 are pure sugar that creates a huge insulin spike. Most of that ends up getting stored in the body as fat. These are fast metabolizing carbs compared to slow carbs or slow metabolizing carbs. Examples of these would be sweet potatoes, chickpeas, whole grain bread, and lentils. And fast carbs at the higher end of the glycemic index, such as white rice, white bread, pure sugar, candies, anything like that. Remember, diets have to be sustainable. Everything's about proportionality and everything's about baby steps. So if you can just cut out candies and sugar 7 days of the week to start, we're gonna continue to make progress. Did I say 7 days of the week? Mm-hmm. What the in your 8-day week? As far as exercise regimens, that's all over the map. Suffice it to say, if you do 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week, aerobic exercise, that's going to put you on the right track. What about medication? Well, metformin or glucophage has long been used. Metformin is a diabetes drug. It's FDA approved as an insulin sensitizer. Metformin also causes secretion of enzymes that directly suppress appetite, and it creates better gut flora. So the metformin is the main drug that's used in PCOS, although there are other newer drugs, liraglutide in adolescents and semaglutide in adults. And what about supplements? So omega-3 fatty acid supplementation has been shown to have some benefit for weight loss in PCOS. Vitamin D supplementation with probiotics can be helpful, as that also lowers male hormone or testosterone, and it also improves anxiety and depression, which can be cofactors in weight gain with polycystic ovarian syndrome. And my number one choice is myo-inositol. Inositol is structurally similar to glucose. It causes insulin sensitivity, and specifically for PCOS, there is good quality evidence that shows that it causes weight loss. PCOS is a very common condition. 5 to 15% of women struggle with this daily. If you found this video helpful or you know someone who might, please share and turn on your notifications.